Hey guys, Max92 and welcome back to another tryout. Today's tryout is on Stray. This game has taken me a bit to get around to because when it came out, I was waiting for this physical copy to come out, and then when this physical copy came out, I forgot to get a copy when it came out, and so I didn't get a copy until like weeks after it came out, and I've had it for a little bit now, and I'm finally getting around to it, so it's just taken me some time to get around to it, so I'm way past what anyone else was talking about it, but it's finally here. Stray. If you don't know about Stray, Stray is a cat game. You play as a cat. I've played a handful of other games where you play as a cat on the channel so far, like 3 or 4? Dot Cat Milk, and the Cat Mech one that I don't remember the name of right now. So we do cat games. It's one of the things we do on the channel, and I've been following Stray for a long time. I feel like, at least before it came out, it's something that appeared on my radar, and I'm like, cat game. That looks great. You walk around as a cat, and it's pretty authentic to the cat experience, I think. You know, you got a meow button, you can scratch up carpet. You know, a lot of the sounds come through the speaker on the DualSense, like the meowing. When you sleep, you do like some little snory purr noises. They come out of the DualSense and the controller vibrates. And, you know, you sleep, you scratch things up, knock things over. You know, the stuff you expect from a cat. You know, it really makes you feel like a cat to get the joke out of the way. If you didn't catch it, I played Stray on a PS5. This is a PS5 physical copy. This is a DualSense controller. I think that should probably show which console I played it on. I played it on PS5. I think it's only on PS5 except for PC. Don't remember for sure. But let's give I don't always do this, but a brief explanation of the game. You're a cat. You got some cat friends. You're following around. You fall down into a hole, and you're stuck down in this hole, and you get an AI sort of like, it's like, hey, come here, come here. I don't know how you're following it because you're a cat. I don't think you can read, but you make your way to this AI. This AI puts you in a little backpack and their little floaty drone, and they're like, okay, I want to get out of here. I want to help you get out of here because I'm sure you want to get out of here. So let's get out of this hole. And you just, you know, hang out with robots. That's basically the game. You hang out with robots and you're a cat. As so far that I've played, this is more of like an exploration adventure type game. You've got some enemies here and there, and you know they can get you if you're too slow, but they're not too difficult to avoid, the ones I've run into so far, and you're mostly just running away from them or sort of like running around them to try to get them to like fall off of edges or get trapped and stuff like that because they're very simple. I don't know how this expands as you go on. I know that I've seen something that you might call combat where you can use like a UV blast to destroy them or something, and that seems to come up later in the game, but I've not gotten there yet. It has been mentioned in like a document that I picked up, but not there yet, so there's not really combat. It's really just sort of run around this little robot town and talk to robots and figure things out, except you're a cat instead of a person, and so you jump around rooftops, a little cat, you can fit through little gaps, you know, cat things. Just it gives you that sort of scale of being this big, you know. I've so far played a little over 2 hours. I got to a section that was labeled like Slums Part 2, and I've not particularly progressed much further past that. But in this like first slums area, I think I've gotten most, if not all, of the collectibles in the area. So I've just sort of been running around as a cat, exploring the area, jumping around, you know, meowing a lot, scratching up carpets, just doing the cat thing. And I think just that is fun. I'm very simple sometimes with some games. Just sort of doing stuff can be fun. I know a long time ago I did a video on Blair Witch, the Bloober Team game, and I know that a lot of people didn't especially like that game, but I remember being okay with it because you're just running around with the dog in the woods, and that's all it really takes for me. So sometimes it doesn't take much for a game to be like, yeah, I just like running around as a cat. I do have some like negatives to talk about here. One of the first ones is just the camera. The camera can be a little unwieldy or just like feel weird, and it comes from the fact that you're yay big, and you know you might be in a room this size, and the camera has to account for, you know, being able to go under things and being really close to things, closer than you would be with a human-sized player model. So I get why the camera is a little unwieldy. That's just sort of a thing that I notice. It's just a little bit. Another thing that I noticed is the game can feel a little on rails with its movement. Not necessarily like the walking around, but like you have specific points you can jump to essentially that have a little prompt that'll be like press X to jump here, and that can make it feel like you're very like locked into a path. Like something might look like, oh, I could go over there, but it isn't, and you're like, okay, but it doesn't look any further away than any other thing I'm doing. So it can lead to this sort of on-rails extra linearity feeling that you probably wouldn't get if you just had a dedicated jump that you could do anytime. And my last little negative bit here is that I think I started feeling a little motion sick as I was playing. This is a thing that will happen to me sometimes in some games, and I don't know exactly what causes it, but just some games can, after extended periods of play, cause me to get motion sick. And this is a game that apparently does that. I don't get motion sick that easily, but some games do it. And so I figure with those, I might as well say it so that people who do get more chronically motion sick know that sort of thing. And that's all my notes here. I don't really have anything else to say about Stray except for the fact that it passes its tryout. I like Cat Game, as a lot of other people do, and I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't think it's very long. I think I might even be like 2/5 of the way through the game if the little memory thing, the yellow memories or whatever on the little AI friend are indicative of game progress. I might be like 2/5 of the way through the game-ish already. So I don't think it's a very long game, and I'm going to try and finish it someday. And maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know. We'll see when that day comes. I am rambling a bit, so let's get here to the end. But got in the description, find a link, Beacons of an AI link. It'll take you to my links: Twitter, Patreon, Bandcamp, Redbubble, etc. You can click that and go check those out. Do what you do in those places. Like the video if you liked, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe if you want to keep with this and other shows. You know, I make a whole bunch of stuff pretty regularly, so check that out if you want. Leave a comment. Have you played Stray? Have you played any other cat games recently? Let me know in the comments. Share the video. Do the things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!